What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? This big game of small talk, and we're back with the weekly, most controversial, podcast around.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. First of all, you know what I mean. What do you guys want to tackle first? You want to tackle the Phil Spencer thing? You want to go to YouTube hacked? I mean, the big YouTuber being hacked, PSN and Sony wanting to pay. What do you guys want to talk about first?
Yeah, it don't matter to me. I mean,
it don't matter to me. Whatever you want to hit up.
You guys pick.
Do the YouTube thing. I want to hear. I actually missed some of that, so
okay. All right.
I want to know what's happening.
Okay. Hey, crap. You remember the guy's name? His channel. He has about 300,000 subscribers. Somebody posted it in Bang Bang yesterday. Anyway, famous YouTuber. That's his name. Forget it. He said at like 3 in the morning, well, like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. He got 3 emails from Sony saying that you changed your email address and yada yada yada. So he thought it was like some spam or someone, or something not official. You know what I mean? You click here, you won $1,000. You just send me $100 in Nigeria, and I can get the money back in the Kenya. People one of those emails like that, right? And so he didn't pay it no mind. So then when he got up in the morning, his name is Dank 8000. That's his name. Dank 8000. Yeah.
Okay.
DANQ 8000. And so when he got up in the morning to go, hop and sign in the PSN, he was blocked out. So he has his PayPal linked up to his PSN. So after a while, he was, of course, Sony, they don't have anyone working there on the weekend. He said only if they only have tech support for a PSVR, but anything with PSN and all that stuff, you got to wait till Monday or Monday through Friday, I guess, which sucks. So then he started seeing purchases on his account for like $145. Actually, whatever they bought, it totaled $145. So right away he contacted PayPal, like, oh, my PSN has been hacked, compromised. I didn't make these purchases. So right away, PayPal was like, all right, not a problem. They forwarded him back his money, and they were going to go after Sony for the money. And I guess that's what what happened with the mistake. Not a mistake, but that's what I guess, because Sony had to come out of pocket. You know what I mean? So what I figure, I get the justice is probably if your account gets hacked, say whatever, and someone spends money on your credit card, Sony doesn't really pay you back the money. They will probably give you PSN points worth for whatever you lost. You know what I mean? So Sony was pissed off at him for him going around them to get the money back and going straight to his bank to get the money. You know what I mean? And after that, they banned his account. They seen that the fact that he was hacked, went through the steps to get it back. And what's crazy as hell? The only way he was able to get his account back, he needed the original email address that he signed up with PSN, and he had to have the original console that he signed up with PSN. So if he didn't have that PS3, the same one and the serial number, he went and got his account back. So I think everything was fine for the first 2-3 days, whatever. Then he goes to sign back and he gets locked out. And that was why. And they wanted him to pay back the $145 that they paid to PayPal to get his account back, which is crazy as hell, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess Sony has something in some fine print or something like that's. You talking about anti-consumerism?
Yes,
that's crazy.
That's exactly the whole controversy that I had with that debate with Sylvester. I said no. Well, a couple of months back when before I was even with BGS. Yeah. Okay. So that I explained that I had the same thing that happened to me in 2010, and I had my bank was with that Bank First. Bank First, I had the security, the security stuff. If somebody the fraudulent security thing, and what they did is that they went after Sony to get my money back because they gave me my money back. They were trying to. Then Sony basically told them that they wasn't going to pay them. So I took legal action. I had Legal Shield, and I contacted an attorney. I talked to the people up there at Sony, and this was before they even got more stringent on their process. They wasn't going to do anything for me. So anyway, they all called me a liar, said that I didn't do it because they said that I didn't get my account changed up, and I did. But it basically, for what the Don and what Centuries told me, is that they did change my account, but they just let me keep the same name. And you know what I'm saying? And then that's when they gave me the free games, which was Little Big Planet and all that. But they wanted me to sign off for that first. And my attorney told me not to, because if I did, that would break, you know, I would basically be telling them that I would that I would be with them, you know what I'm saying, that I would, they could do whatever they want to, which means that they wouldn't give me my money back. So everything worked out. I got my money back. I got my account changed, basically. Well, I got my name changed, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just took the legal reason, and that was millions of other people that got hacked too. And I had like up to, it was around like close to $700-800 that got taken out of my account. So you know what I'm saying? So they had to give me my money back. You know what I'm saying? There was no way that I could have.
Well, you know, what's crazy, but back what year was that? What year was the hack? 2010? 2011. Well, whatever. I was one of the, you know, I told the story before, but my, you know, because at the time, my son's he's more of a Sony dude than anything. So you know, I would have, you know, I had a debit card linked to it, you know what I mean? And they were, he doesn't even play FIFA. I don't play FIFA. But it was these minor 99 cents, the EA, you know what I mean? And little stuff, like nothing big, you know what I mean? Nothing big, you know what I mean? And I didn't even know, like I said again, like that my credit card information was even compromised. You know, that's when Sony got sued. They waited like 2 to 3 weeks later to tell people, you know what I mean? I didn't really realize again until about a month and a half later.
Yeah, me neither. I seen it on CNN. I was watching the news and they talked about it. I said, "What the hell?" And then I looked and seen it. And then I looked and I said there was money that was taken out of my account. I said, "What the hell?" And that's what I'm saying. It was really ridiculous. After that, I shut it down. After they gave you Little Big Planet. They gave you a month's free of PSN. They gave you 2 games from the old store, which I got Ridge Racer 4 and I got Street Fighter Alpha. And then they gave you Infamous. They gave you Infamous 1. That's what they gave you for compensation for them taking out as much money as they did.
You were able to choose 2 free games.
Yeah, and what was really fucked up though is if I didn't get my money back, if I didn't get everything that I wanted back, because once I took my credit card information, I had to get another credit card. So I let that expire, and I was just going to buy points. They took those games away from me. Once that PSN account went dead.
Oh well, I guess the same thing. I guess with maybe Xbox Live, if your account's not gold or active, I don't think you have access to the games anymore. That's how Xbox Live works too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Xbox Live. You don't have access to the games with gold, but you still have access to your games.
But these are supposed to be your games. You know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be your compensation for that. If I just signed off and just let them get my, just say, oh well, I'll just take good faith and y'all, I'll just try to figure a way to get my money, because they were basically being pissed off at my bank and coming after not Bank First. I'm sorry, Chase. It was Chase Bank. After Chase and trying to get the money back that way. They were trying to fight with them, man. If I didn't get legal action put involved, it would have been a fucking mess, like a lot of people went through. It's ridiculous.
That's what Sony does, though. I mean, this isn't the first time they've done that. They also ban your account if you try to use support after you've gotten a refund for No Man's Sky. So, I mean, these are the tactics that they use. They're using like strong arm tactics against people, and it's ridiculous.
Well, how do we get away with this though, crap? Like, is it because of the contract you signed? They have something in the fine.
It's the fine print.
It's the fine print, and it's the same thing that we said, and it ties into the other story. It's the same thing with Microsoft. Like, you have companies like Microsoft that could take legal action on certain things, and they choose not to be the bigger person. Sony's just, my personal opinion, Sony's just playing with fire. They're playing with fire because they keep doing this and doing this. Eventually, someone's going to slap a lawsuit on them that cripples them. It's not going to be something where they end up paying everybody $12 in a retroaction.
But this is what the attorney told me. The attorney told me if I just signed off and just accepted, because they gave it to you in a like when they gave it through PlayStation, through the PlayStation app or whatever, and then you had to if you didn't read through it and just hit accept right there, Sony would have had your ass. That's what my attorney told me, not to accept that right then and there. Get your money back first, then negotiate. And then so that's the only reason how I got out of it. If I just went ahead and accepted those games that they offered and hit accept, then Sony would have said, well, he signed off on it. This is his handwriting, or basically, or his him saying that he accept these rules. So and that was in 2010. They were stringent then, but they weren't nowhere near stringent now. So yeah, I feel bad for that dude.
I got my money back. I've had that PSN account since 2006, since they made a PSN, since the PS3 launched, with their version of online or whatever the case may be. But this what is crazy. All jokes aside, we bug out here. It was, that's one of the reasons why you look on Amazon again. Why you see the top, bestsellers always PSN accounts, or people think, that it never happened to me. I've seen people, well, that's your fault. You shouldn't have linked this, And Sony can't do it. I'm like, it's crazy as hell. You should be a consumer before anything. I'm always with the little man before these corporations. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
And that's just, imagine you spend $1,500 on games and you're locked out of your account. They want you to pay back over your account. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. That's Sony's been doing that for a long time. Unfortunately, nobody's going to call out the white knights of gaming. Sony saved gaming after all, guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Did they really?
Oh, sure. DRM.
Yeah. That is DRM. What the hell are you talking about?
No. Microsoft was going to take your rights, guy. Come on. We got to all praise Sony. This is how you share a game. You just give it to your friend. That's what you do. Sony, all hail them. They tore the camera out of the box last minute. Hooray.
It doesn't matter what show you talk about or what podcast it is. No matter what it is, the Sony fans, they all line up in allegiance. They got their right hand in the air. They don't even pay no attention to what's going on.
In clear conscience, how could you even defend anything like that?
Well, look at Sony trying to take what was it? Let's Play. And you have the Boogies and the Angry Joes. Nobody said nothing. No. Then finally, when you it was a crap or somebody made a
we all did it. We did it on BGST.
We did it on BGST, but then you guys did some videos on it. That's when it caught wind. And then Boogie was like, "Well, I don't really like it. And if they got it, I would have done a video." Who do you think you are, the Supreme Court, Boogie? Like, if they got it, you would have done a video and the shit would have got repealed. Get the fuck out. Like, that's the problem. I don't understand. Like, that's why we do what we do. That's why BGST exists. That's why BGST gets numbers. That's why any affiliate that breaks off of BGST, people listen to. Because people are tired of all the people go, I'm tired of BGST. I'm tired of that nonsense. Well, you are? Well, all the other channels are on the other nonsense. So we're the only different channel to tune to. There's us and everybody else.
Right. And that's the one thing about it that really pisses me off as well, because if you say something and have an opinion about it, then you're either fraudulent or you're a liar, or you're a cancer to the community. But as I thought that you had the Angry Joes, the Boogies, the Stone Fox Medias, et cetera, out there that can say whatever they want to say, and it's all right. Yep. But because it's slated to the console of your choice, then that's fine. They can have all the opinions that they want. But for us that are pro Xbox, it's a problem. That you can't have that. That's going against the grain. Well, damn it, that's what we do. That's what we're here for, is to go across the grain and let people know that we're not these systematic corporate slaves that they call us, because they are more into that category, because they just get it stuck in their ass and just take it. Yep. Enough is enough of that. We're trying to talk. We're not trying to do this to bash Sony gamers out there. We're actually trying to do it to make you understand. Look, if we can go out and we can get and we can piss off people from the Microsoft staff, then damn it, you should be out there to do the same thing with the Sony staff. Let them hear you for once. Let them hear you.
And that's exactly it. Everyone comes in to go, exposed, you're this, you're that. We speak our minds. If you don't believe us, watch you'll listen to last week's show. We completely, right? We completely critiqued Microsoft up and down, and Microsoft did hear about it. And let me tell you something. But they respect us. They really do. One way or another. We know this. We've spoke to them. They respect us. They say, listen, guys, we know you have a voice. We understand that we hear you and people hear you. You know what I'm saying? So my whole point is that the problem with Sony fans is it's the third Christmas without a game or anything, basically, because PSVR is a flop. And then what do you have? You have the Pro.
Oh, no, PSVR is not a flop, Mooch. It's on track, bro.
It's on track. Excuse me. That's right. You're right, crap. It's on track.
It's on track. Yeah, come on.
They got rigs.
Yeah, they got rigs.
They got rigs.
And it's on track. So,
you know, I mean, you're right, Crap. You're 100% right. I want to strike my last comment from the record, please. PSVR is on track. But, you know, and listen, we're going to have Z tell us about how Z did see the Pro. He said it looks good. And don't get me wrong. This will not be an episode where I say, oh, Z, you're not right. With your eyes, see, right? No, it's true. It is right. I mean, if it looks good, it looks good. I'm not going to take that away from your eyes. How can I do that? But what is very easy to say is the same thing you could say about the Pro is the same thing you could say about Cerny's mathematics. If you want to go ahead, Cerny, and tell us 8.4 T-flops is capable, then we're going to tell you that 12 is capable in the Scorpio. When Zaire says that everybody tells him experiences of the Pro, you can just imagine how great our story is going to be when we start talking about the Scorpio. The problem with the Pro is not that it's not a good product. The problem with the Pro is
what's the problem? It's a little mo.
It's just a little bit mo.
Man, you're gonna send that shit to Hayden.
Boom! There it is.
The PS4 Pro does just a little bit mo.
You know, and the problem is in 10 months it's already deceased. So that being said, and the fact that you have Sony. Listen, this is what I was saying on Twitter earlier, and me and Zaire and Crap were talking about it this morning. When Scorpio comes out, you're either going to have Crackdown 3 or you're going to have Scalebound, whichever game Microsoft decides to launch. My point is you're going to have a new game to take home with your new hardware, okay? And you're going to see some technical prowess. You're going to see some power. Sony is like, hey, here's a box, and it's going to do what your other games do, except that we enhance the HDR and we tweak the color a little. Yahtzee.
Yeah. We got that Instagram filter working overtime.
Yeah, you know, so that's not truly why you should be spending your $400 on this box. That's my problem. Like, it's not that I'm saying that NBA 2K doesn't look better on the Pro, but the problem is it's not worth what you said looks a little better. That ain't worth $400. Flat out.
No,
flat out.
And see, this is one thing that I'm now since I'm now Mega 4K, since I got my 4K television. I'm seeing the benefits of having a 4K television, and for what the Sony fan base is trying to, well, not the fan base, but what Sony, well, I guess the fanboys of Sony, and for what Sony and them are trying to tell the PlayStation Nation out there, is like, look, you don't need a 4K television to see the benefits. Just keep your 1080p, buy our product, and you'll see it for yourself. You might slightly see something better, but like Mooch said, $400 is not worth it. Also, let me make this point. We're talking about the console leader, people. PlayStation is number one. And normally, this is how it all works. When you're number one, everybody else follows. There's a reason why Nintendo is going their direction and why Microsoft is going their direction, because PlayStation is filling bullshit pipe dreams and lollipops to their fan base, and they're eating it up. Because I guarantee you, if Microsoft seen that this was a benefit, they would have also implemented it as well, since they're seeing that PlayStation is the console leader. That's where you got to look at that. Why everybody else is going their own separate directions when you have the console leader out there bragging about how many units they got sold. Just think about it.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but you also have Sony, who built up themselves early this generation as being pro developer. Now, I don't know if you guys seen my video, that there's that Battalion 1944 game, which was a World War II first-person shooter on Unreal Engine 4. And Microsoft is apparently helping this developer out a lot, giving them tips, very enthusiastic about getting the game on the platform. And Sony's like, sure, you can put it on our platform, but yeah, go ahead. But they actually told the developer they're very much more interested in VR right now. So they're basically just kind of blowing off these developers now, indie developers, and this game looks pretty damn good. It did a successful Kickstarter. It's coming out next year. It's going to have a full campaign.
So what you're saying is Sony wants the indie community to which maybe that may find a market for. The indie community supports the.
Well, yeah, that supposedly the indie community is going to drive PlayStation VR.
Okay. I mean, I can maybe see that happening. Maybe, you know what I mean?
But it's at a cost of core games. Like, that's the main thing, right? Look, I've been there. I was one of those guys like, yeah, Connect. Let me, woo, day one on 360, baby. I had mine. And, you know, yeah, and then you play it, and then you're like, okay, yeah. And then, you know, like a week later, you forget all about it. And then you're like looking around for your exclusives, and you got nothing. You know, True. And then you're like, what happened? And then you're like, oh yeah, they spent all their money on this gimmicky crap. Sony's fanboys are going through this same thing right now. They're like, if you're afraid to say anything bad about Sony, like, okay, well, maybe this is a bad thing for the core game market. And so they're the ones that are going to be suffering because look at all the games coming out on PlayStation VR. Those should have been resources spent on Sony first-party games. You know what I mean? Like, they're spending all this money on, and Larry Herb said it too, Sony's spending all this money on time DLC instead of things like an Elite controller, exclusives, all these kind of things. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I read that article.
Yeah,
you know, was Major Nelson hating? Why y'all in Sony's pockets? But you know what, crap. In all fairness, they're doing that because again, I will hate to say, but our exclusives are lacking the big punch that it used to be because everything is so, geared towards multi-plat, like they basically copied the later part of the 360's life cycle, where what so many exclusives were releasing, and Microsoft had all the third-party deals. And you think this is the way the industry is just trending now, more multi-plats, and because again, you don't see the exclusives, really charting on the NPD for 2 months in a row. If that happens, it's rare. Whether it's Halo or anything, it's really rare. You see the same 10 multi-plats month after month. The
that's because multi-plats are on multiple.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying, but look at like I'm saying, like a huge game like Grand Theft Auto. I mean, throughout the course of this generations, it's the same 10 goddamn games.
Yeah,
what they say, Rockstar.
But it's like, look at Grand Theft Auto 5 is available on 5 platforms.
I don't crap. I'm with you. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? But I just that's not think. I just maybe. Well, again, that's what's been Sony's hoorah. They've had the quote unquote the better version of the multiplats. You know what I mean? It hasn't been for the casual. What you say, bro?
I said that clock's ticking.
Oh yeah, that it is. You know what I mean? It's just that Sony got the casuals to go from maybe the 360, to their platform. Do you think maybe it was a mistake of Microsoft to let Call of Duty licensing go?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I mean, I hate Duty. I hate Duty. I'm not a big Duty dude. But if you look at the number one bundle selling console for the last 2 years was that Call of Duty Black Ops 3. It's still in the top 10 not on the top 100 in Amazon bestsellers.
That game's kind of on a decline, though. I mean, no matter how you look at it. I mean, when I say decline, I mean it's still selling 20+ million, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't want Microsoft to spend $60 million a year on that. I'm happy.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. You know what I mean? I'm with you, but. I mean, I guess we are the minority.
I got a different attitude on it now, though. I mean, just from the battles we've been in the past couple of years and hearing the this and the that. I'm with you, crap, on what you say, and wholesomely and morally, I'm with you. Wrong. But here's why you're dead wrong. Unfortunately, that money that would be tied up in Call of Duty, what it does do is it institutes more console sales, just hardware. And by doing that, you avoid a lot of the nonsense that is. Like, let's just say we had this Xbox One resurgence, which we do have. And then all of a sudden we also had the COD deal. Like, you would start to see developers starting to come more towards micro. Like, that's why we're dealing with this HDR nonsense, where the HDR has been available since August, right? On the Xbox One S.
You wouldn't know it. There's like 4 games
exactly. But the PS4 Pro comes out at just a little bit more.
A little bit more.
And what's going to happen? You know what's funny? Jamie Moran goes, now I can't even say Pro without a little bit mo in the back of my head.
That shit to hate.
We gotta get that popping. We gotta get the PS4 Pro, little mo.
Y'all never gonna hear me say that shit. Y'all better about make a shirt that says "send that shit to Hades" or "send it to Hades," because I'm not saying it. I do agree with Crap is. I mean, I'm not so much what Crap was saying, what Mooch was saying with what's going on with Call of Duty, but if you look at the projected sales for Battlefield 1, which I think that was the better deal overall, not right now from the way things looks, but overall, Battlefield 1 is suggested to be at 15 million sales, and it's already well surpassed the number that they normally get. So, and that might be at a point, I don't know, because of the Call of Duty remaster, the COD 4 remaster. that's going to be really hard to beat COD. But if you hit that 15 million mark, you actually did something well. And I think that will push console sales, because people will overall see that Battlefield is the better product. I'm just, you know.
Yeah,
that's
I get it. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna be a lot of people. Not a lot of people. The casuals are geared more towards the duty because it's easier.
Yes.
And Battlefield, you know, even though I suck at shooter, it's more of a skillful game.
Let's break another category down, right? Let's just talk about accessibility, okay? So I don't give a shit what any of our emotions are and what our feelings are, our opinions. You log on right now, and there's anywhere from minimum 10 to 25 people on your friends list, depending on how many people you let into your circle of trust, playing COD right now, okay? Now, Battlefield, no, this is not a diss on Battlefield at all, but you look and you'll see 2 people or 3 people playing Battlefield because it's a much more intense game. My point is that like it's a casual shooter, and it's going to appeal to the masses. And it's a pick up and play. That's all it is. That's really, and that I'm not making fun of it. I'm not bashing it. I'm not trying to put it up on a pedestal. It's a pick up and play. And nowadays, when you say casual, like when everyone says the Wii did so great a long time ago, was because you could just pick it up, play that whatever that tennis game was or the bowling game, and people dug that in their house. They played a couple rounds, put it down. And that's kind of where we're all at right now. That's why mobile gaming is so, I wouldn't say hot, but mobile gaming is so monetarily beneficial. It's making money because you can do it while you're in transit. You can do it while you're waiting for a cab. You can do it while you're waiting for a bus, while you're in the airport. You're in the can. It doesn't matter where you are.
Everyone has a cell phone.
That's what I'm saying. So my point is that now everything has been the days of us all sitting down, okay, and being like, cracking your knuckles, bringing a small plate of food with a big tall drink, and sitting there being like, I'm going to put 6.5 hours into this game. That's very, very rare. And again, the consumer.
I did that on Call of Duty 4 Remaster, though.
yeah. Crap. Again, you are the anomaly.
Yeah.
But my point being is that like you walk and you see the consumer at this age is us. We are the consumer. The consumer is, I would say, probably 25 to 45, maybe even 25 to 50 year old.
I go to 50. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
niggas nuts, dude.
He's here.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't put the fly strip out.
Yeah, put the fly strip out. Come on, we got to get rid of this poser that doesn't even have a PS4.
He's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah,
man. He's everywhere, man. He's a supporter, even though he's a hater. Let him slide. Come on,
he's
let him
fun like when your tooth rots.
I didn't say, you know what I'm saying? He's a cavity, but he's all right. You know what I'm saying? He's all right.
I don't think any dentist ever used that in the punchline either, Kay.
Yeah.
He's a cavity, but he's all right. Ain't no cavity.
Hey, you know what's crazy?
You know what we do with cavities? We fill them in and drown them, or we pull it.
You know what's crazy though? I'm gonna tell you something. He's probably one of our biggest supporters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's on every podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he's a damn fool, man. You know what I'm saying? Me and him just have a cool interaction. He talks his little trash, I talk mine, and we just move on. But you know, he's just a troll. Let him be.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend him.
Matty Beast. Matty Beast. That's the line of the night.
You know what though? Here's the thing. Like I like Battlefield 1 as well because I bought all the shooters.
Battlefield's nice, man.
It is nice, but here's the problem.
Yes.
Like that shit is like. I mean, you can, I guess, do like the deathmatch and stuff that's shorter, but that shit's 30, 45 minutes.
Yes.
And and there's like there's a lot of kind of ground to cover with those maps. Man, I can hop on Call of Duty and get 10 matches done in that amount of time.
You know what? Though? I will say this. I'm not saying this, but you know, I got the reflexes of a 95-year-old man with my first-person shooters. But I guess if you put time into it and learn the maps and the spawn points, it wouldn't be that easy. Like I said, I'll be trucking across the field, getting sniped. What the hell, dude? What the hell? You know what I mean? But it's overall to me a better game, more better butter. It's a better quality of game. You know what I mean? Especially the campaign. The campaign is awesome. That
first damn if anybody's played that damn campaign, the old best, the very first with the tank, I was like, you know what, I'm finna throw this shit out. You know what I'm saying? That was serious. It's intense, but once you get through the rest of the story, man, it's amazing. My last story was the Lawrence of Arabia story, man, just amazing. Just amazing.
I haven't. Well, I'm saying, but even like I said again, just not to backtrack a little bit about the PS4 Pro, Lil Mo. Like I said, my cousin, my cousin has his, he picked it up early from downtown, one of the mom and pop spots, and he has Duty, he has Titanfall 2, and he has NBA 2K17. And I will say this though, you know, what I mean, it's YouTube again doesn't do it any justice. There's it's a big difference between the standard PS4 and the PS4 Pro. You know what I mean? So like I said, if the PS4 Pro looks that good, you know, this is launch. Just like I say, launch games. You know, imagine they really, you know, get the realize how to use the power.
Yeah, just imagine when Sony makes a game. Oh shit,
yeah, or whatever, or even exclusive built. You know what I mean, or whatever the case. It's kind of like me, like the gift and the curse, because I would like to see a game maybe built from the ground up, even with the Scorpio, to take advantage of the hardware. You know what I mean? We're kind of missing that though. But like if I was Sony, you know what I mean, I would just discontinue the standard or whatever the hell. It's only $400. You know what I mean? Because I don't see what's the purpose of you spending $300 to get the Slim or whatever. And you know, even I don't, like I said, I don't know what it looks like on a 1080p TV. I don't know. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a 1080p TV in his house, a wealthy bastard. But if you have a 4K TV with HDR, sit back, mama. That goddamn thing is beautiful.
It is. Now I will say this for a person like me who doesn't have a PlayStation, it would be a perfect buy to get the Pro. Now, because I was like, man, you know what? These vanilla PlayStation 4s is now down to $250. Remember, I told you that I seen the one for $229. There was one at GameStop down the street from me for $229, and it was the Star Wars edition. It had the Darth Vader on there. And they had
the one that won them Christmas.
I told you guys it was going to win them that.
Right. And I was like, oh snap, I'm finna get that. But then I came back to go check it out to see if it was there, and they were all sold out. I should have got it right then and there. Shit. But yeah, no, they were all sold out. But but when I went back in there, they got Blue Dragon. They had like 4 white ones, and then which is I guess the Destiny one, and then they had
that one's a good looking console.
The PS4
that's the one I got. I got the PS4. I got the PS4, the Taken King white one. That shit's nice.
I thought you traded yours in. I thought you traded yours in. Mooch, you still?
No, I still have it. No, I gotta watch. I gotta watch Blu-ray. I gotta watch Blu-ray movies on something.
Oh, that was Tim that got rid of his. Well, I traded. I don't have a PS4. I traded mine in when they was giving away $200 for it before. I haven't had a PS4 since the summer.
Well, I mean, everybody I know pretty much traded in their PS4s.
Yeah,
like I think that's how they get the numbers they got. Think about it. Even people we know, Nukem, you guys know him. He traded one and just bought a new one. Yeah, he just got a new one. You have Tim Dog.
He traded his. Sorry, he traded the standard PS4 and bought a Slim.
No, he just has I think he just has a regular OG PS4. He said he wasn't gonna buy into the Pro bullshit, but yeah, you have him. But like Tim Dog, my brother, all had PS4s, traded them, got rid of them. GKB, She-Wolf, everybody I know had PS4s and got rid of them. You know what I mean? And then eventually they're like, well, maybe I'll get another one soon, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that counts as two people. I don't know people that were like, well, let me get rid of my Xbox One and then I'll get another one, 3 weeks later.
Right.
You know what I mean? There are some of those weirdos out there. They keep going from console to console. They can pick a side or just
pick a side.
Or just
I can remember Gamer Nate, wasn't he like that?
Yeah,
I remember that dude Xbox One. He bought an Xbox One and you're like, don't get used to it, crap. He's gonna trade that. He's gonna get off that in like 2 weeks, and he did. That was hilarious.
He turned the Xbox in for a Wii U, then the Wii U to the PS4. You know, it was like that too. Not for nothing. That corporate cocksucker. You trade in console to get new console. I just say this.
Next time he's gonna get one out of a trunk, right?
Yeah, right. So you know what I mean. I just say just own both consoles and just cover yourself if something comes out. Whatever.
Yeah, that's the best way. But like for me, if you're a hardcore Xbox guy, there is not really a incentive to get a PS4 Pro for that. I mean, like I have 10 games for a PS4. Like I definitely don't need a Pro for that.
I'm sorry. Go.
No, I was just gonna say I have to agree. I don't understand why people are trading in to get the Pro. You're not getting anything.
Especially if you don't get a TV to go with it. If you don't get a 4K TV to go with it.
Yeah, the media's not saying that, but the media gave Phil shit after E3. They're like, Phil. So you're saying with the Scorpio and the S now with HDR, we all need to go spend $2,000-$3,000 on TVs? But now Sony says it, and they're like, I'll buy a TV.
Well, again, I will say this.
Like, what's going on?
If you have, I don't know what it looks like on a 1080p TV. Let's be clear this, okay? Yeah. But if you have a 4K TV with the HDR, whatever the case may be, it's and if you're going to get a PS4, I go for the Pro. It looks good. It looks great. You know, I mean, that's not going to turn me into a pony or anything. I'm an Xbox. You know, I just more.
I don't know, Z. You're talking real good, bro.
No, I'm just calling the spade a spade, man. I'm a God of War fanboy.
I am too. I love God of War.
I make no quarrels about that. But if you're, like I said, I don't know what they will give you now for the standard PS4. I got in what I get. It was good. I got $200 for it. So the Pro is only going to cost me $200. Actually, $150. You know what I mean? So those are going to cost me $150. At the end of the day, actually, it's not costing me shit. I'm still got my goddamn gift cards my wife bought me for Christmas last year from Best Buy. You know what I mean?
And see, it's gonna cost me a 400 bones, and I know that I'm not gonna buy a whole bunch of games for it. But I'll get my secret little favorite game of the year, one of my favorite games of the year, which is Until Dawn. I love that damn game. I don't know what about that game I like. Maybe because it's got that little blonde chick in there that was in Heroes. I love that chick.
I didn't care. What's Until Dawn? That's what they choose the scenes and stuff. I got
yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the game was basically just click and move or whatever.
It was a cheesy horror movie game.
It's a cheesy horror movie.
I don't like it.
I just liked it. It was just fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's the best game on PS4 as far as I'm concerned.
I think it's better than Infamous Second Son.
Infamous Second Son was that game was the most boring piece of crap I've ever played.
After you get past the visuals, when it comes on, it looks really good.
I did like Bloodborne though. I thought Bloodborne was hot.
You know what? The story of Bloodborne, I would put Bloodborne will rise.
But see, the thing is, the problem is you got to stop though. You really cannot give Bloodborne a Sony exclusive credit because that is Dark Souls. Forever will be Dark Souls.
It is.
It's just Dark Souls.
I'm thinking about the order. I'm sorry.
That's like the order. Okay, that's different. That's different. You can give the order credit if you want. Yeah,
I didn't play the order.
I'm not into Dark Souls type games.
Well, hey, look. Real quick, we should let Amigiazzo or whatever his name is. He says that he has had a PS4 since launch. So that would mean that everything because he told you, right, see, that he didn't have one.
Leave Amigiazzo.
So listen, if he don't have one, but he does have one. That would just Amiziago, just so you know, if you're saying that you do have one now, and I'll believe you. If you do, that means everything you said is you're a liar. That means everything you've been preaching, you're a liar. So you've just discredited yourself.
That guy, you're talking about the dude that hyped up motorcycle racing. Yeah. He hyped up
Godzilla. He was big on Godzilla. He loves Godzilla.
Tropico 5.
Yeah, Tropico 5, and then he says he never hyped those up or put them in lists. Yeah. This motherfucker had the list every single week. Every single week. Look at it. We got Motorcycle Club. Yeah, we got J-Stars. Okay.
J-Stars.
I gave you a hood pass. I gave you a hood pass to say in here, but I didn't say that the crew or the people in the panel, I mean the panel and the people in the chat can fire your ass up, Omega. You know what I'm saying? Let them have it. Let him have.
That dude is loose, man.
Oh man, but no, that's what I'm saying. I'm still on the fence. I don't know what I'm going to get, and you know what? I got me a Sony product now. You know what I'm saying? I got me.
But you hate Sony. Come on.
I would say you got the new TV. You got to get something off. You just invested in a new television. Look at it like this. You just invested in a new 4K HDR television. All right. So why not get everything, whatever, to take advantage of your new set? You know what I mean?
I got the damn Xbox.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying though. Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying, there's going to be other, HDR content out there with all the bells and whistles.
I got my gaming PC. Now, the only thing I might need now is the Switch.
What about that fault?
That's what I'm talking about, K-Mega. That's what I'm talking about. We're on that Switch.
Yes.
That Zelda. Yeah, man. Woo.
Yes.
That Mario. That's what I'm talking about.
If they had some multiplayer, hey, crap, we gonna go in, man. We gonna.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Me and you, Splatoon. We'll set up a game battle team.
Yeah, me and Luke's gonna act like we don't know you guys. It was fucking. 40-year-old men playing handhelds.
You damn right.
No, there it goes.
Dude, I got 5 years. Almost 6 years before I hit that age, dude.
How old are you, crap?
34.
Oh, you a baby.
Yo, fat motherfucker.
There you go. Look at that shit, man.
Yeah, shit. But anyway, I would say that was just my overall thing. You know what I mean? All fanboy shit put aside, though. If you're gonna, I would recommend if you're gonna get it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I didn't even know you had a PS4, Mooch. Should we never?
It's hardly on there.
I'm never on it. Well, yeah, but neither are you guys. Like, I turn it on just to watch a movie, and nobody's ever on it. I got you guys on my friends list.
You know what you got to do? Do what I do, because you can be invisible all the time on that, right? Like whenever I'm on, I never pop up as being online. I'm always just offline.
Okay. But the reason why, again, I just well, I will say this. One thing I do give Sony credit for, is one thing I wish Microsoft had a big, is the one-player story-driven games. Those are my favorite. You know what I mean? I think I'm kind of outgrown the multiplayer deathmatch stuff. Like I didn't kill it with the 360. You know what I mean? But I like co-op games. Like co-op. But as far as the deathmatch, I think I'm done. But like I said, Sony. As far as that, I'm not a big Uncharted fan, but like what's that? Horizon Zero Dawn. I hope it's a good game. It looks great.
Hey, well, me and Mooch both had that shit pre-ordered. So I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what, guys. This is okay. Because like I said, I'm on the fence on getting the PlayStation Pro. But if we can go in and infiltrate the PlayStation Nation, I will get a PlayStation Pro.
Infiltrate them how? Do what?
Like we just come in together like Bgst. Say fuck it. Let's go in here and take them over. Let's do something.
I don't know. Sony dudes is kind of weird. I go through my messages on the PlayStation sometimes. PSN.
Well, I get my messages.
What's wrong with you people? I just think it's a different type of game over there than it is.
It is. It's more single player. I mean, I got a lot of love for PlayStation, but it's more for single player games.
Even when they hype a game as multiplayer, like No Man's Sky, it turns out it's fucking single player. You know what I mean? Like just
that's
seriously.
That's their. But
the problem with that is like single player games aren't really worth $60. If you can't have some kind of added value to the games, then there's no point in realistically buying them.
That's more or less primarily Xbox. If you look at look at the catalog between the two. Microsoft is everything is built around Xbox Live, so you're going to get that multiplayer experience from that. Sony is still, they're still looking to I didn't like the PS3 ever so much. Besides the God of War, that was my shit. But they were trying to get their next big Halo. You know what I mean? They went to the MAD, to the Resistance, or to the Killzone. That's not Sony's strong suit. They don't have the controller really for. That's, to me, those two knobs close together feels awkward as hell to me.
And the battery dies in like 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But
seriously, I hardly ever play PS4, but it seems like whenever I hop on that thing, it's like my battery's down to 1 bar. You know what I mean? I'm like, I gotta charge this shit up. Are you kidding me?
The battery does.
Or we got. That's not the Cleveland Browns. That's because that's Tim Dog.
Yo, what's up, guys?
That shit's lit. Tim Dog. It's lit. Tim Dog. It's lit.
Shit's lit.
Hey, Tim Dog. I heard NeoGaf is pretending like none of that resolution stuff happened, huh?
Oh no, never happened. No, never. That was all. It was never made up. They just reported on resolutions. There's no big deal.
Yeah, it's completely 30 pages, and it never happened.
Yeah, it didn't exist.
We were talking about that this morning on MNC mornings, and I was looking at some of your tweets that were getting retweeted where you're like, look, 30 pages, but it never happened. You know what I mean? I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, Tim is going. You still going NeoGaf? Tim, you used to go in there and said that bitch on fire.
No, well, it was actually because I had put up something earlier in the week, and somebody
Tim's mic is low as fuck.
Yeah, you gotta loud my mic. I'm on my phone
cell phone?
Yeah, again.
What are you on vacation, you wealthy bastard?
No, I was just
you in the cabin? You in the Hamptons?
We were friendly.
In the Hamptons.
Fuck that is.
Howdy, motherfucker on the low. All right, here we go. I'm turning you up.
I wish I was rich. I don't own anything, so it's all my wife.
Yeah, you like me. My wife has everything. Is the breadwinner.
Yeah. No, I had wrote something earlier in the week about like how you don't hear about resolution with Titanfall. You don't hear it with Call of Duty. I don't even know what the resolutions are, but like that used to be. It's like all quiet, and I just said, "Isn't it funny how we're not talking about that?" And somebody actually responded to me, and they're like, They always just reported on the resolution. It's never been a big deal, and I'm just like, I remember.
Are you fucking kidding me? I got a goddamn picture of Destin Leary holding a 1080p up here and a 900p down here, and that no fucking big. You go back to the launch of this shit, and that motherfucker, that dude from IGN, the one that tries to joke, he's always like, and 1080p is a thing. I want to play all my games at 1080p. And I'm like, oh, get out of here.
Well, it's just such a double standard. Like, I don't know if you saw one of my tweets about how like Sony's marketing is 4K, and then they have like a little thing that says 800p checkerboarding.
800p checkerboarding.
You know, like that stuff. If Xbox tried to do, remember the tweet that Aaron said that how everything outputs upscale to 1080p. And how everyone went crazy and said false advertisement. Look what he's trying to do, and all this shit. And
you know what? It was just a cool thing they hit Xbox, Tim. That was just the end thing to do to the bash Xbox. You know what? I will say this. Overall, it's better for, if things were to go back just to be, we just talk about who got the better games. Cool. But they kind of made their bed up for the last 3 years.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I not to interrupt, but I kind of think about the situation, and I'm like, okay, was it bullshit? Yeah, there was a lot of bullshit that gone, but like they pushed it to the point where they try to make Xbox fans and Xbox feel like shit, and now it's like, okay, now we have the situation completely reversed. Now, do I have to be the good guy again and just say like, oh, okay, no, it never existed, no, not a big deal, I can't tell the difference between native, or do I hold them to what they started?
They got to get this work, Tim.
They got to get the work. They started this,
indeed.
And now they're gonna have to eat it. That's just the way life is. I mean, you start something and you make it a big deal, and for whatever reason, whatever it is, if that shit backfires on you, you're gonna have to eat it, and they're gonna have to eat it.
Eat it, bitches. For those, some people find it kind of, even some Xbox people, for whatever reason. And sometimes they think it's just cool to go obviously Bgst and want to be peacekeepers. But even to them, as Xbox fans in general, it's our job. Not saying it's our job, but to not let them forget. What we went through we didn't get chance. We couldn't even go out.
But what they did though, they did some grimy shit. It wasn't just the fans, it was the media. Everyone was in on it, and the reason why we have 12 Xbox community, podcasts. At the time, you were the only ones I heard.
Oh yeah.
The reason why we have
11 of them was his.
Listen, that's why I had PTSD from fighting this console alone by myself. But me and John.
No, but the fact is that we didn't have a voice. There really was a point where we didn't get heard. Like we were just fucking getting bashed. And it was a big old joke. Everyone was putting Neo gifs on. They were making funny things about, jokes about here, finding peas.
Did you hear Sunset Overdrive's only 900p 30 frames, Tim?
Yeah, it confirmed. But it didn't exist.
Next gen 480i.
Even like I remember, even when Call of Duty like 2 years back, they got the resolution to. It was like 1480 or 1440, 1080p.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh, that's 1080 PR, like public relations, or it's PRing the P." And that was it was shunned upon, and the media followed, and everyone was going along that stick. And you know what? Why would that change? Why does that? This is the same situation. This is not different. This is the same situation. One's console, the Xbox, is going to play their games, their first-party titles, native 4K. Okay, that and the other console can't do it. It's doing. We could pretend it has 8.4. If it did have 8.4, you wouldn't have to worry about putting disclaimers in your advertisements for GT, for Gran Turismo. But it's the same situation. It's flopped around. What are we gonna? Now we're gonna be rational. Now we're gonna say, oh well, I can't tell a difference.
Yeah,
but I could, but it made me a better gamer then. And I mean, and Sony was also involved in on this. People
Yoshida
forget.
with his tweets.
Yoshida was fucking being a dick.
He said 1080p makes you a better gamer.
He was posting, joking around.
Hey, hold on. Not only did he say 1080p makes you a better gamer, that motherfucker posted the difference between 720 and 1080p, like the screen sizes and shit.
Yeah, he posted. I have that.
He's like this, and then he posted up. You know what I mean? What a fucking douche.
And there was no outrage. There was nothing then. It was just funny then.
Oh
right?
yeah, but if Aaron Greenberg says we're the #1 console, people flip the fuck out.
Yeah, the fucking 3DS outsold you, motherfucker.
No, hey man, I'm gonna have my Nas album with the Ether song bumping and blasting when the Scorpio comes on. There is no love for any of these motherfuckers out here, man. I'm coming with it. The
difference between and it's being real. The difference between the PS4 and the Xbox One is minimal. You know what I mean? Like I said, if games looked that much better on the PS4, I would play them on the PS4. I mean, with multiplex, it is what it is. It's not, but from the Scorpio to the Pro, it's a huge difference. We're talking about over a teraflop. You know what I mean? So
plus, you're going to have more RAM, too. I think that they're going to go at 12 gigs.
You know, a better CPU. Better frame rates, higher resolution, higher graphic fidelity,
higher bandwidth.
Like I said earlier today, you just joined. Like I said, my cousin has the PS4 Pro now, and it looks amazing, Tim, graphically. So I can only imagine what the hell games are going to look like on the Scorpio. And I hope they don't do this shit. I hope they don't dumb down the Scorpio version. You know what I mean?
For parity.
Yeah, don't do that shit. Like, no, I would.
No parity.
Listen, you know what though? Listen, here's the failsafe we kind of have with Phil behind the steering wheel here. Phil's making a lot of first party games. They're going to be doing native 4K games with first party, so he's going to make third party developers look really foolish if they do the parity thing. If they only do 1080p all the time, right? You'll go, well, no, I can see a real huge difference between Microsoft's first-party games and this. So they'll have to come to the plate. It forces them to gravitate towards Scorpio. It really does.
Okay, hold on. Let me say this. Okay, I remember listening before I even did this. You started doing this YouTube thing, and I was just listening to YouTubers. I remember I was watching one particular YouTuber that's a strong advocate for 2K, and I remember when 2K14 came in, and he said that he talked to the devs, and the devs told him that they were doing parity in order to not make the Xbox One look bad because the PlayStation 4 was that much more powerful.
Bullshit.
I swear to God, I can tell you where that is in private, guys.
No, I believe you.
And I was like, oh snap! And then I was looking at the comments, and then those comments was coming from all over the place where they were like, why would you want to do parity if the PlayStation is 50% more powerful? Fire Xbox's ass up. Xbox should have did better. They should have done that. So now, since the roles are going to be reversed, do not give them no chance to breathe. Suffocate their ass. Hey, do what you're supposed to do, Killer Phil. Bring the hellfire down them.
That's what you
honestly, it's competition. You should. If Phil's not going to do that, then that's not the right thing to do. You got to take the bull by its horns. You got to put pressure on devs, and so do we as fans have to put pressure on devs to utilize the system. Now, I do think for the most part, developers are going to want to make their game look the best. So if they can hit 4K native on Xbox, they're going to do it. And they're just going to checkerboard it down with PS4. So I don't really think that this has been a big idea, but it is a concern. I can tell you that. I've talked to some people that sometimes they're a little concerned because they're the market leader and, but Mooch makes a great point. When you have Forza 7, and it is 4K native, 1080, 4K native, 60 frames per second, and the game looks fantastic. That's 60 frames per second. You're just going to be like, what the fuck's going on? You have enough power here to pretty much make. I'm not saying all games are going to be native. Like maybe a game like.
I don't see why not though.
Well, Dice Engine. it's going to be tough. But
I'm saying but 980 can do it, and the Xbox One is more powerful than the 980.
Right, but there might be a I'm not going to say all games. What they did say is all first party can do it. So yeah, probably if you put the time in and you do everything, you can get it to native. But like we're talking now you're talking about a multi-plat developer. They might be just like, fuck it, let's just do the checkerboarding or whatever. Well, that's a wait and see type of situation. What we know about Scorpio compared to Pro, it's a much more capable machine. It is a full step. It is not a half step. It is a full step. And I think all Xbox fans, and I think Sony fans too, would want to wait to get their full step. I think if you see so many fans. I saw somebody today saying 2019 PS5. We're not talking about Xbox next. We're like, we got our shit next year, and we're gonna be fucking happy. Yeah. They got their shit, and they're looking over their shoulder, and they're like, fuck.
Hey, so any Sony fan that said that to you, Tim, or anyone that's thinking 2019, first of all, 2019 is a long shot for Sony they've got 3 pieces of hardware out this year.
You guys want to hear what's going on inside Sony fanboys' heads right now?
Yo, but to be honest with you, the problem
didn't exist.
The problem that they have, though, even at 2019, is that's 2 years. That's 2 full years that Microsoft has the Scorpio out. And if you guys don't think that's a big deal, look at what PS4 did to the Xbox One in 2 years. Microsoft will curb stomp you and put their foot on your throat. The problem is that also by the time the PS5 comes out, this puts Sony always at the under. They're always going to be the little brother, because when the PS5 comes out in 2019, 2020, Phil already said the successor to Scorpio is already being worked on. So, you're already going to be caught with your pants. So the minute PS5 comes out, it's a smidgen more. And listen, this isn't just an arms race. Hear me out for a second. Eventually, we're going to get to, like, I used this example this morning, right? If Tim Dog, we comes to an ice cream parlor and he's got 8 scoops of ice cream on his fucking cone, right? And then Crap Gamer comes over and he goes, I've got 10 scoops. I've got more than you. Tim Dog turns around and goes, but we both got too much fucking ice cream. Can't even eat this much fucking ice cream. Right. The point of the matter is once you start getting this so high, if you're at 6.7 teraflops with Scorpio and PS5 comes out 2.5 years later at 7.8, like eventually you're capping out. The devs can reach so much. You know what I'm trying to say?
Plus, and you also yes, and you also have the idea of Scorpio's hitting native 4K and Pro is not. So their next step is to get a native system. Right. Now, the fact of the matter is I believe that Xbox and PS5 will probably have another console down the line. It's not anytime soon. I think Sony's plan is to make the Pro its new PS4, basically. The Slim is basically
it's belly up.
I think they both like the 6-7 year thing, but one console at the beginning isn't enough. You had the 4K boom, and so Sony thought they were being slick, and they were like, "Hey, we'll just do this," and then they didn't realize. That's why it was brilliant that Microsoft announced Scorpio at the same time, because it kills all the resolution bullshit. If they didn't announce that, we'd have resolution bull.
It would still be going on. It would still be going on.
I don't hear anybody.
I was telling you guys, they got to come out and announce it. They got to announce it.
Titanfall 2 under 720p at times on Xbox One. Nobody's saying shit.
No.
There ain't shit.
And then somebody goes, "Well, Eurogamer, they still report on it." And I
said,
what
they do.
And then I said, "Okay." I said, "Okay." So I said to this person, I said, "All right, that's true." I said, "Show me the 15 articles that are now
IGN
quoting that and making it a big thing." And that person had no answer, because 2 seconds before that I was doing a search and I said, "There's nothing going to be here." The only thing that's been reporting on it was Eurogamer. So what happened here is there's been a fundamental shift in the way media is taking the cue. They are not taking the cue of resolution, because they know that now if they take that cue, they're going to have to, do the same thing that they did to PlayStation, that they did to Xbox. Now, trust me, it's going to get there'll be some media outlets that do report this and say, well, Xbox is native and that it is going to start up. But the fact of the matter is that, like Crap said, when they announced it alongside, it killed the resolution talk. It basically killed. They tried like fucking hell with, Xbox is confusing. This is all confusing. They tried like hell to fucking sabotage it, and you know what? They got kicked in the teeth by the fans because
they didn't think ahead. They didn't think ahead. Because they were like, hey, there's almost a 2-year gap between the Xbox One S, and the Scorpio. That's confusing. That's did they kill the S by announcing the Scorpio? But they didn't think ahead.
Right,
but
like, but when that happened, the media got fucking curb stomped.
Exactly.
Now what are they doing? They're being nice.
And Tim, you knew it because I said Slim and Pro, and you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. And I said, no, I heard it Slim and Pro, and I knew it. I was like, how can the media say that Scorpio and the S is confusing, and did they kill the S already? And then they're not going to say the same thing about the Pro and the Slim. That PS4 Slim is the biggest bomb ever.
That's when you take an optical port out and you don't make it a 4K player when the competitor puts a 4K player in. Yeah, you kind of shit.
You mean that fake HDR Instagram filter isn't enough?
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, they definitely they got caught. The media got caught. Everyone got caught.
Yeah,
and go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. Also, what's a factor is that the more power that you have available, the more expensive these games will be. Which means that PlayStation is going to be in a position to where if they keep on talking about power, or if their fan base keeps wanting them to have more power, they're going to get screwed over that way as well, because Microsoft got enough resources to make games to complement their powerful system. PlayStation, that keeps cutting back. They keep cutting back. So that's going to put them in a bad position right there. They didn't think at all about what was coming in the future. They were just wanting to sell these consoles out the gate right now. So it's just like the tortoise and the hare. The hare is gone, but the tortoise is slowly creeping up, man.
Hell yeah. Not only that, but I just find it funny how the roles have reversed and nobody seems to be calling it out. Like,
it didn't exist.
Yeah. The resolution stuff. Nobody ever said anything about resolution. Hey, no Sony fanboys cared about winning MPDs, right? When Microsoft wins this next one here, this Thursday.
You think they got September or was it October?
They got October.
Yeah, they got October in the fucking bag. Yeah. When they get that, and it's back to back, as well as winning back to back in the UK. But no PS4 fanboys said anything about winning MPDs and.
You guys, a lot of people follow IGN on YouTube. Remember, for the past 3 years, there was all the let's compare, and Destin Legary reporting from the back room of IGN. We've got some more resolution to talk about. Destin Legary's not even on the fucking camera anymore. There's no, like, all these guys that were just like had so much to say. They're out of material, and it is because Scorpio was brought up at E3. It kiboshed the whole resolution.
It kiboshed the hate. It kiboshed everything, because everything they built themselves up on, they got to take it away. And that's when you do what they do, you gotta eat the consequences.
I just want Microsoft to strut it, just to strut it. Let it be known. You know, what I mean, don't be quiet. Don't be modest about it. Say, hey, this is the difference. You know, between.
There's no nice guy in this, because you know what? The nice guy at the end of the day
finishes last.
Here's what's going to be the big difference between the Pro launch and the Scorpio launch. Even though the Scorpio is just technically an Xbox One souped up or whatever, and it's going to play the same games, they're going to have games that come out at the launch that are going to get people excited. There's fucking no games on the Pro to get anybody excited. You can say multi-plats all you want, but when people see fucking Crackdown 3 or Scalebound or State of Decay 2, whatever, or 4K, 60 frames per second, Forza Motorsport 7, when they see that shit, they're gonna be like,
they're gonna be mind blown.
Yeah,
I think in America, I do think in NPD land, and I think in UK that Xbox Scorpio is going to be looked at as the coup de grace, like the deal. Like, it's definitely you even get the feeling now. And like I said, you could see on the Sony fanboys or what they're saying, how they already want a PS5. They know the writing on the wall, and they see it. And when Scorpio does come out, like Crap says, and you guys are just seeing my face melted on 4K 60 frames on Forza 7. It's just, there's no turning back.
You know what? I think, and again, you know, those games that you name, you know, those are going to be huge for Xbox fans. What's going to me, it's going to shine bright is Microsoft having a 4K native 4K Call of Duty, and it looks head and shoulders above the PS4 version.
Not only that, but next year is going to be Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Well, yeah, those big games there.
Yes. Star Wars, Call of Duty right now, I mean, I think Battlefront's fucking in front of it. I mean, Battlefield's in front of it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Battlefield's overall.
Oh, Battlefield is a top 5 looking game this generation. It looks gorgeous on Xbox One. I was playing that damn thing, and I'm like, damn, this is like. That's why, like, the whole. I was talking to Mooch about this. I was like, I get why people, you know what I mean, whatever, it's cool, but I think that there's still a lot of juice. Like, I mean, people are going to be happy with their Xbox One if they just keeping the one from launch, and I think that's the important thing. You're keeping all your games. The remasters are coming out because there's not going to be any more. I mean, these are the games. These are it. So they want them to look the best. Like, this is going to kind of be like PC in the fact that you're going to
always own your games.
Yes. And I
PS5,
love that.
PS5 might not be backward compatible. I got news for you. They should stay in the same ecosystem, but you never know. With Xbox, your games are yours, and your 360 games. And we're supposed to be getting a really big announcement for backwards compatibility
in November.
Are yours?
It was funny because you were like 250 backwards compatible games, and Mikey Barra tweeted and corrected you. He's like, that's like 280, bro.
Well, I mean, I think that they take pride in it, and you know what? Sure. If you want to give me Black Ops 2, fuck it. I'll take it.
We talked about it on MNC Mornings, and we talked about it last week and this week. I'll be honest with you. Remember, we were all taking bets because even though they brought it up at not this past E3, but the last E3, it didn't begin until November, basically, of 2015. So it's only been 1 year, and we were like, maybe they'll have 100 games. They're going to have 300 games in 1 year.
They're going to have the top titles that people ask for. Red Dead. Black Ops 2, I think.
Yeah, I've heard Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2 are going to be ones that they're going to push because Activision was holding off.
Maybe Mass Effect? Or
the Mass Effect 2 and 3. Because they've got that multiple disc thing figured out. So it's like super easy. And you know what's cool is like if you have Blue Dragon, I think you only need the first disc because it downloads the game is basically what happened.
Which is why I think they can make it.
Which I did, with my disc, which crap made fun of my damn box.
Yeah, I said send that box to Hades.
But you still have to, when you play that game, you still have to keep that disc in the.
You have to because it reads the thing on there, but you actually download the emulated version or whatever that is. That's basically
so digital is not far off.
Yeah,
because that's basically a digital version.
Which you know what, Tim? That always made me wonder why Sony couldn't do something similar. Like you put in they have a bunch of digital versions of the games. You put in, if you happen to have a PS3 version of the game, you put it in. It can't read it, but it knows that it's that game, and so it lets you download it and play it. Like Sony could probably figure out a way to do, or you could, if you owned it, you can at least stream it off their PlayStation Now for free.
But that's the problem. They've told their fan base. Sony has told their fan base that digital and DRM are wrong for you. You don't need this. You need to just buy discs. And I think that a lot of PlayStation people, they still commit themselves to buying discs. I really do think so.
I agree, Hunter. Dude, can somebody ban Amazio? I can't stand it. Sony's first-party studios are knocking it out of the park. I mean, this guy insane. This guy is politically insane.
2018, baby.
He's hilarious.
He's insane. This guy is literally smoking crack, or he's like not all there in the head, knocking it out of the park. Get the hell out of here.
Remember when we were doing the games last year, and he was giving us fucking like a cell phone game, a game from those in Japan only.
He claims that he never said that shit. He's like, I never hyped up Godzilla. I never hyped up Motorcycle Club or Tropico 5.
Yeah, we'll go back to one of the shows where we were actually reading it, and I went crazy. It was one of my screaming podcasts, and it was him because he was mentioning these fucking games, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me with this list?
Yeah.
It had some fucking game that I don't even think came out. It was just like, they always do that. They always overhype their shit. 5. And they don't even
and not all of them even come. I mean, they're still talking about Persona 5.
Hey, that motherfucker was hyping up Persona 5 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and that shit's still it's in Japan. Everybody in Japan enjoying it. But you know what? Your punk ass is sitting here still waiting. I'm going to get my Persona. And you probably won't even buy that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's the thing that really cracks me up. They bring up these games, and they'll give you these huge lists of games that nobody, and I mean nobody, gives hits except for just one demographic of people, and that's usually in Japan. Then they want to brag about it. Look, what was it on multiplayer when they were talking about King of Fighters? I like King of Fighters. King of Fighters is a cool because I'm into fighting games.
Yeah,
but they didn't even have U.S. sales for King of Fighters. They only had Japan numbers, and it was at 21,000 in the first week.
There you go.
If anybody would said that Forza, Recore, any Xbox game sold 21,000, the PlayStation Nation would have been in an uproar, dissing the shit out of us because of the fact that they didn't sell nothing. They didn't sell nothing. But yet, it's just Japan. It's okay. The game is going to sell right. No. All these fighters is going to start seeing the light, especially Capcom, knowing that they made a grave bad decision of just making that game exclusive only to PlayStation when these people did not support that game. I know it was trash, but they still didn't support the game even when they fixed it. Yep. And they're going to start coming back to the Xbox. Just wait. Chris
Hall saying Persona 5's first week sales in Japan were 50,000.
Oh my God! Was it 50,000 or 500,000?
Let me tell you something. Regardless,
is it 50? It should be 500. The way they hype it.
Was it 5? I don't know. He's saying 50. Chris Hall, do you have a link or something? While he's looking for that, if it's 50,000 in Japan, it's gonna be 50 in America.
Dude, Amazio, you're talking out of your ass again. Like, people don't care about Kamasaki Warrior 18, bro. We're talking about Gears. We're talking about Halo. We're talking about Forza. We're talking about those games.
Like games that count.
And when you're looking at PS4, we're talking about like Uncharted, God of War, Gran Turismo. We're talking about big games, Ratchet. You know what I mean?
Ask him what he's playing this fucking holiday.
Dude, he's playing nothing. He's playing nothing. He's playing Tiddlywinks because he's playing
Bgst again.
Yeah,
he's playing Bgst. Good job. Thank you for the support.
No, but you know what the problem is? It's like when you talk to this is how PlayStation 4 fanboys are.
Anymore.
You can't. It's like talking to a fucking brick wall. They will never admit anything like, oh shit, like maybe it was a mistake for Sony not to get a God of War game out within the first 3 years of the fucking console or a Gran Turismo game. Instead, we got Drive Club closed the studio now because they fucking sucked and put out a shit game. And then, Sony's great for fucking focusing on VR, right? I mean, that's brilliant for the players, right, guys?
Somebody might have wanted
more hardware.
Somebody might have wanted to call Neil Druckmann and tell him that PS4 came out in 2013, and to have your main franchise take 3 years to come out, like that tells me two things. Either Naughty Dog was like really, really stressing with every single person they had on deck because of all the layoffs and people leaving, that they had to it took so long to get this game done, or Sony's so broke that it took this long to kind of bleed the money to that studio.
I told you guys, when I played Uncharted 4, I said it's okay, but the story was a letdown, and it wasn't as good. It was very ham-fisted writing, and let's pull this guy's brother out of his ass. When we clearly said there's no brother. He's an only child in multiple different occasions in this series. You know why? Because Amy Hennig is now working on Star Wars. She was the head writer on that. You have another lead writer that worked on Infinite Warfare, which that story is really good. I don't know who's played Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty, but that story, just forget that it's Call of Duty. That is a fucking great sci-fi story.
Well, they got Jon Snow in there, and you know what? I do not want to backtrack, but damn it, they got Jon Snow, and I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, and I'm considering it. I'm considering breaking what I said.
The King of the North.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Winter is coming. Shit, I got to just Jon Snow, bro. And so I don't know. Call of Duty might. You know what? If I get Call of Duty, I'm not going to get Titanfall. That's a fact.
I'm hearing Call of Duty is the single players off the hook.
Can I say this? I'll say this. Yeah. You cannot go wrong with either of those games. I feel totally vindicated for spending $80 on Call of Duty, right? I got to say that campaign on Call of Duty 4 Remastered, fucking phenomenal. Your heart still races when you're all gillied up and because you get that achievement if you go through the whole thing without getting caught. When you got to take that sniper shot on Reznov or whatever. That stuff is fucking phenomenal. It looks great. The multiplayer is absolutely a throwback. Boots on the fucking ground. Great, fantastic. I'm having a great time with it.
Okay, crap.
I have it.
Okay, crap. Break this down for me then. Break this down for me. Okay, you love both games. You love Titanfall and you love COD. Which one would you prefer if I could only get one? Because I'm only gonna get one because that
can't ask him
that. Can I ask?
Wait. Can't ask him that. Wait, can I Call of Duty?
Well, wait. Let me wait before crap. Before crap answers that, I have a question for K Mega. K Mega, do you or do you not care about the longevity of the multiplayer in either game?
Do I not? Do I care about it?
You care about playing the game longer than either. Listen, the campaign on both games, Call of Duty or Titanfall, are somewhere between 5 and 7 hours.
Okay, hold on, wait. We just had an earthquake.
There's two campaigns.
We just had an earthquake here. I completely wasn't listening to your ass. Okay, hold on.
You all right?
Yeah, we just had a fucking earthquake in this motherfucker, man.
That's crazy. We don't understand that in the East.
Well, you know what? In Oklahoma, we don't
What?
understand that shit either. That fracking shit is crazy. They got to stop it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
anyway.
you never got
no, Oklahoma don't get no fucking earthquakes. This shit's been just happening for the last 6-7 years. All of a sudden, man, it started going crazy.
Are they fracking there?
Bullshit. Yeah, they fracking hardcore out here. Yeah, man. And
they don't do that here in Florida. They're not allowed to.
Man, I hope that they can step up, but you know, it's a highly conservative state, and they love their oil money. So that shit, the house is just shaking. So anyway, I'm sorry.
No, my question is, do you care about playing multiplayer on either of these games after you finish the campaign?
Yeah, I do like playing the multiplayer. So yeah.
Okay. Well, let me throw a little. This is just a little data here. Okay, so you have a Jez, not me, because it's not coming from me. Jez Gordon, shout out to Jez. He's Windows Central. He had tweeted something out just a few moments ago. I should have just right here. He wrote, this is a few hours ago. Not confident for Titanfall 2's longevity. 1,200 players in attrition, 200 and less players in each other game mode.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah. So I'm just saying, if it's about the game and just enjoying the campaign, then I'll let crap take it from here. If it's about I'm going to spend $80 or $60 right now and I want to play it longer than 6 hours with a group of people that I always know are going to be on, you know, Call of Duty is definitely going to be around. So, like I think we were saying it earlier, Call of Duty has a love-hate relationship. You know, at least for the next 2-3 months, everyone's on their honeymoon with it, and then after that, you know, everyone starts hating Call of Duty.
Well, look, you could go back to Call of Duty 4 on 360, and there's still players on that shit. So,
well, that's true. You can look at it that way too. Yeah, I was trying to give it a time.
But I'll say this: like, if you spend 80, this is what you're getting with Call of Duty: 2 full campaigns. So you're probably going to get over at least 12, 15 hours, depending on what level of difficulty you play it on. Then you're going to get the zombies mode on Infinite Warfare and the multiplayer on both. I've been spending a shit ton of time on the remastered multiplayer. I haven't touched the Infinite Warfare one very much yet. So you got that. With Titanfall, I like that too, but just not as much as the Call of Duty stuff right now. You know what I mean? Like I liked it. I thought it had a great campaign. The multiplayer is fun, but I think that I would say you get more value with Call of Duty.
Well, I heard that the Call of Duty, the multiplayer sucks now. It's done. Like it's not even being played close to what Battlefield 1 is being. Is that true?
Well, you're talking about somebody was reporting on Steam numbers or something, but which is ridiculous because they don't tell you how many are online on.
Well, I can tell you right now, tracking on Call of Duty is low on Amazon, very low.
Yeah,
but I don't know now. Like
it's nowhere near as low as Titanfall.
But if Duty's low, Titanfall's invisible.
No, Titanfall did really.
I gotta tell you as well, though. I went digital for these games, so if
I
I'm going
think
digital,
now Amazon tracking's harder and harder because digital.
What are they saying? 30% or more are digital
now?
Well,
30%, 29% is the latest bogey. So you know, but I mean, like I said last year, I track Amazon. It's just I like tracking things. Yeah. Whether it could be anything. I'm just a numbers guy, and Black Ops, PS4 and Xbox were pegged at 1-2, for the week before, during the launch, and after. Right now, it's 8-9. It didn't even touch top 5.
That is strange, even if people are.
You can look right now; it's 7-8. You know, I mean, they also have that $79 one, which is I think $55 on Amazon.
Yeah, that's the one.
But like, this is Call of Duty. This is a game that, you know, like it sells
crap. Tim, I'll tell you right now, I bought physical, and I buy digital everything, but I bought physical because once the love affair is done with Call of Duty, like I'm going to return it. The Call of Duty isn't something I'm proud of keeping. So, I bought it physical. I went to the midnight release, and I'll tell you this much: there was at least 100 people at the midnight release. So, like, it's still what it is, man. Listen, I understand it's declining, but the problem is it's like the mountain is like Mount Everest. Okay, so when Mount Everest loses a little glacier, nobody fucking knows. They're like, looks like a big mountain still. My point being is it's massive. So yes, it is losing. I think if you go back years and years and years ago, Call of Duty was getting like 32 million. Now they're down to 26 million. So it's very easy for me or anybody to say, hey, it looks like they're losing steam. Yeah, the next game underneath them's at like 12 million.
It could. Here's the thing: it could pick up too because it's getting positive reviews. People like the single.
It's also a big Christmas thing, right? Too crap with the console sale and Call of Duty's a Christmas gift all year round. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
But apparently, Titanfall 2 is going to be like $33 at a lot of places on Black Friday,
right?
On Amazon or something,
and it'll be in the vault by spring. Trust me.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
It will. It will.
It's weird. It's weird how the casual now.
If EA doesn't want to pay if EA didn't want to pay them to get it for the EA Access discount and all this stuff, why would EA pay them to put it in the vault?
Because a lot of money went into EA. Doing it EA, at least for the vault, will make the vault worthy. It'll make the vault's worth increase.
I think Respawn's trying to break off from EA. Did you? I mean,
that could be. That could very well be.
They took over the Twitter account.
What happened with Twitter?
It was EA that was advertising Titanfall 2, and then Respawn started doing their own.
Has to be Respawn's fucking, not to interrupt, but Respawn's fucking. Am I still here?
Yeah.
Okay, good. My phone. Respawn's. And I know that you probably talked about this already. With your tweet, which was a joke. I think anybody that knew.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that now.
I don't want to talk about that because
we're not going to talk.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up in the next 9 minutes.
But, all right, but whatever.
Clickbait.
We don't have to talk about that next week. But the point is that they're fucking pissed, and they are probably fucking. I mean, if you were Respawn, how pissed would you be about the marketing? The marketing has been horrible for Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
Horrible. So I would not be surprised.
Whose job is it to market? Is it EA or is it their job?
I think EA. EA is basically waxed and shined Battlefield 1, and then they had a live action trailer for Titanfall that didn't show anything off of the game, and they didn't market it well. You look at, kudos to Aaron and the marketing team for Titanfall 1. They fucking sold that game because they marketed it like the way it should be marketed.
Yo, that Titanfall 1 commercial where it's the guy in the office and the Titan comes up and grabs him out of there and fucking takes him through the city, and it's like, be with your Titan, and it's like a full minute. That thing was off the chain, probably one of the best commercials I've seen this generation. When I saw that, I was with my son. I was like, "Oh my god, that's it! That's the game."
They didn't even explain that there was a single player campaign. That fucking honestly, if I was Respawn, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
EA.
Well, they were taking shots at Call of Duty through Twitter. Like finally, they're like, get the game that's higher rated, get the game that does free map packs. You know what I mean? Like no season passes.
They're desperate because they're not selling.
Well, look, I don't know whose fault it really was. I don't know if it was EA's or if it was Respawn's fault for thinking that they could go with the big boys. They're kind of like the Nintendo of this generation. You know what I'm saying? They need to be in their own spaces, stay in their own lane.
You're right. They probably were prideful and said, "Fuck this! Our game's the best. We'll just put it out right in the middle of this in this glut," and they're paying the price.
Listen, I'm gonna say I think the game would have did better if it remained exclusive. It'd have sold much better.
Well, Here's the thing.
If they stayed Xbox, it would have done better.
Yeah,
it needed to stay exclusive, and it needed to come out in like March of next year.
Even if it came out
they kept that exclusive. If they kept Titanfall 2 exclusive, and they launched it on the Scorpio, let's just say they did a Scorpio fucking title, 4K game, and let's just say it's the same game, but maybe a little bit better graphics and everything, I guarantee you that would be a huge success with Xbox. a huge success.
I just know, even if not even so much that, even if they would just utilize the cloud and everything, just made it better
and then
than
have
it
that
was
single
last.
player, forget it.
Yeah, and even if it came out when it did, it maybe it still would have did much better than what it did. You know what I mean? But
Well, the fact of the matter is that it didn't do good, and you look at it compared to what it did on Xbox, and there's a lot of reasons. You could say marketing, you could say some of the shit that they that went on, the negativity, all this and that. If they had stayed exclusive, they would have done better. That's just I think that's a pretty fair assessment. They would have done a lot better because I think a lot of Xbox people would have been like, "This is our game. This is the title that we're all getting to put back. This is our new Halo. Welcome him in." And that game would have sold like fucking hotcakes. Instead, you thought that everyone from PlayStation was going to go gaga over your
That
game.
was it. That's it, Tim, right there.
They didn't.
Listen, we always joke around. What does Z always say? Always bet on black. Here's the thing. They had red and they had black. They put all their money on red. They bet on the wrong team. The problem was they went with PlayStation. They figured that the PlayStation had 40 million people and that they were all – because, listen, I've said this all the time, and Vince Appella probably learned it the hard way. Okay, don't believe what you see on social media. These PlayStation guys, they don't buy shit. They're cheap. They're not a shooter box. They don't play the games that we play. Putting Titanfall on Xbox One, even though Xbox One had a rough start, was a smart move. It was a very smart move. They did very well.
Over 10 million.
Yeah. If they just kept it to Xbox One and PC, Windows 10. Right now, Titanfall 2, I'm making this up. If Titanfall 2 is at 150,000 or 200,000, they'd be at 500,000 easy. Easy.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah,
I would have won.
Yeah, I would, and that's the thing that really screwed them over is that they had a big head. But you know what? I really think that when Titanfall 3 comes out, they're going to make a deal with Sony, and I think that and I don't know how the contract thing works, but since EA and Microsoft is in good standing together, I think maybe Microsoft and Sony is going to going to go all out to get Battlefront because
business is business. But I do think Respawn has a project already scheduled. I think they're doing some Star Wars. I think that they're doing.
Sony is
Star Wars Battlefront 2 is next year.
It's supposedly going to have a campaign and stuff too.
It's not
it's a multiplayer game. I'm just saying, but that would be huge if Microsoft can get the market.
They are going to.
They might.
I think they had a big head too. They thought that they could play with the big boys. And here's the fact. This is the fact of the matter. We can even say this on both sides. There is a lot of casual gamers out there. They buy 2-3 games for their PlayStation 4 or their Xbox One, and then they forget about it. They're on draft Sundays right now, or they're following the election.
Tim's right.
People buy a system, they buy like 3 games, and then they go away. So unless you have like your brand recognition where Call of Duty is, or where Battlefield is, you really, I mean, this lesson. So it should be for all devs, Xbox, Sony, and everything. Stay away from fucking Call of Duty. Stay away from November. All right, unless you have some
and Battlefield.
Yeah, stay away from that month if you're a new game or you're just like you don't have that much of a following. It killed Sunset Overdrive. It hurt Tomb Raider, and now it fucking probably killed Titanfall. I mean, there's a possibility we might not never see a Titanfall 3. I mean,
that's actually there's a large possibility of that.
Well, and speaking of Tomb Raider, I know we're about to get ready to wrap it up, but Tomb Raider didn't sell very well on the PlayStation 4 so far from what the numbers that
No, of course it didn't. It's more PlayStation talk. They just talk, and they don't buy. Listen, Xbox guys are guilty too of not going out and buying stuff. But we do. Let me I will say this: we do buy more than they do. That's the bottom line.
You have a higher attach ratio before the.
But the thing is that most of the deal is that the people that are the loudest, the guys on Twitter or the guys on YouTube, we're in the minority.
Yeah,
the guy that buys their fucking Xbox or PlayStation and gets 3 games and then fucking. That's it. They don't use it again, or they buy it when Call of Duty comes out every year, or when Madden comes out. That's all they play. and there's a real problem too in the industry right now. These games, they're costing so much money and they're not recouping because so many people are like that. Look at all. I mean, Mooch can attest to this. I mean, I'm 40 years old. All my friends that have PlayStation or Xbox, they have like 3 games. Hockey, that's it.
Yep.
Call of Duty, you never hear them talking about Titanfall.
Everyone I know in my office that plays, here's what they play. I'm not joking with you. They play Destiny, they play Halo, Call of Duty, and that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah, and
That's
in the
it.
hood, it's Madden and 2K and Duty. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Grand Theft Auto 5.
people are going to start watching
All right,
it.
let's go watch a shitty
People are going to
episode
watch
of, Call of Duty
that
Call.
walking Crush Glenn with the thing, and
It's been fucking horrible. Last week I wanted to throw a fucking chair through the window. So bad.
I'm gonna get on some Forza and maybe look and see what went on with the Sunday football game. Y'all enjoy.
All right, my man.
Yeah, man.
All
Good
right.
show tonight, fellas.
Sorry I came in late.
Man, these guys got scared feet. They're scared of Phil. But listen, we'll catch you guys next week, Monday. Monday. Xbox Beast Fire Wednesdays, Xbox Nations Thursday multiplayer podcast. Friday Crossfire. No,
Thursday for multiplayer.
Yeah, Thursday multiplayer.
No
Friday,
more election talk after Tuesday.
Yeah.
think,
So
get out there and vote, or otherwise you can't complain.
Yeah, go vote.
Saturday
Yes.
Gamer versus Gaming. Sunday mornings MCC, and of course Sundays BGST. We catch you guys next week. Thanks for rocking out with us. Over 350 people in here today.
Apparently,
Woo!
K-Mag is not on the